Have you ever been in that situation where you don't know what game you want to play next? Because I am so conflicted right now. Like, I want to play the Xenoblade Chronicles trilogy, but I also want to play Red Dead Redemption 2 and Red Dead Redemption 1, or I want to play Bloodborne, or I want to play Yakuza 0 and marathon the Yakuza games, or play The Witcher 3. Like, I've been struggling to figure out which games to play for like the past 2 days because the thing about me is that when I play one game, I tend to hyper focus on it until I complete the story. All right, so I am late on this because there's this person that made this video called Crimes New Roman, and he did a video called The Drama Slop to School Shooter Pipeline, where he, from what I heard, he basically accused commentary channels of causing a mass shooting. Even a sensitive society over here, who I find very boring, had to do a video on it because I'm assuming this video has some very serious allegations. And yeah, I'm just gonna watch it and react to it. I'll try to add as much commentary as possible. Forgive me if I stutter or mumble. Um, Also, how do I feel about commentary channels? I have issues with commentary channels. One of my most popular viewed videos was me criticizing the commentary community because the problem with the commentary community is that they basically have to farm the newest drama, and context usually doesn't matter to them at all. Like, they gotta keep, uploading constantly, especially Pegasus down here. That dude has to spam because these people, the thing about commentary YouTubers is that they pretty much profit off the misfortune of other people. They're fake news channels that don't even really have the full context of a situation. Sometimes they're right, sometimes they're wrong. Commentary channels have even harmed innocent YouTubers like Pro Jared one time when Pro Jared got accused of a bunch of crazy stuff. And but then again, sometimes the commentary channels are right when they got mad at EDP 445 and made fun of him. So yeah, one of the commenters under my the problem with commentary channels video, said that horribly. He said, like, aren't you a commentary channel? Personally, I don't think so. My channel, for me, I'm more of a, I just talk about random shit. Like, commentary channels, they gotta constantly find the newest drama and newest thing to milk and farm. With me, I don't care about profit. I just say whatever comes to my mind. I literally just made a random video going on a schizo rant about why Persona needs gay representation. And anyway, let's just start the video. This shit is 2 hours long. I swear, that's almost longer than Project Hail Mary. Project Hail Mary was a good movie. Please, God, not a commercial. Don't tell. Oh wait, maybe my internet's off. Let's see. Okay, there we go. Cut. By the way, I used to just download YouTube videos and then just cut up clips and then respond to the certain clip, but not anymore because those types of response videos that I did, they didn't really net me many views, and that was a lot of editing. So now I'm just going to lazily, reply and react. I'm not making money off this, so I don't care.
So worried
I don't even care if you unsubscribe from me.
about what the audience is going to do with the information because I think I have a responsible way of conveying it. And unfortunately, there are going to be some nut jobs in the audience who are going to take things a little far sometimes.
Yeah, man, I feel very mixed about Turkey Tom. I mean, on one hand, I'm kind of impressed. Like, this kid made YouTube videos just talking complete shit about other people, and now he has like $1 million or something like that. Like, think of that. Like, think of that. This dude makes millions of dollars or thousands of dollars, while there are people stuck at McDonald's and Burger King. Thankfully, I'm not in either situation because I don't want to be a YouTuber. The ideal of trying to profit off of YouTube always sounds very stressful to me because you got to worry about the algorithm, you got to worry about who wants to sponsor you, ad revenue, all that kind of bullshit. But I'm also glad that I'm financially well off to the point where I don't need to work minimum wage. So I'm perfectly fine. I found a good balance.
I was, I avoid that. I don't like those people. I don't support them, whatever they're going to do. I don't want anybody, having a subscribe to PewDiePie situation in my name. But unfortunately, there are nut jobs out there that are going to, take whatever you say and run with it and misinterpret whatever it is. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
On January 22nd,
Oh, here we go.
2025, a 17-year-old opened fire in the cafeteria of Antioch High School in Nashville, Tennessee.
Oh man, I feel like America has a huge gun problem. Like I'm okay with people having guns, but we have so many mass shootings here in this country. It's ridiculous. I know there are other countries that have mass shootings, but America definitely is like no competition the best when it comes to mass shootings.
He killed one student, Jocelyn Correa Escalante, injured another, and then
Ah,
killed himself. His
ah,
victim
I hate when they do that. They just decide to avoid justice and then they take themselves out. Like, why would you do that? Why would you do that in the first place? You know, like, stop it. Like, life is not so bad where you need to go out and do a mass shooting.
51-page manifesto laid
Because the thing is, when you do a mass shooting, you're either A, gonna end up in jail for the rest of your life, or prison, sorry, or B, you're gonna end up taking your own life. It's a lose lose scenario. Like, just enjoy life. You're gonna die anyway.
bare the life of an angry, abused, socially isolated teenager who wrote that he was ashamed to be black due to being immersed in accelerationist white
Oh, damn, this is a black guy too? That's rare. It's usually the white ones.
supremacist ideology. He was affiliated with far-right cybercriminal networks like
But then again, yeah, black people are capable of becoming part of the far right. There are conservative leaning black people, and that's always been a thing since since the 1800s. I know that back then the Democrats were right, but you know what I'm talking about. There have always been right leaning black people, especially the house slave.
764 in Telegram and spoke about Jews, Muslims, women, and LGBT people being targets. His manifesto, unsurprisingly, had a section listing people who influenced
His hand is really distracting. You see that? Black nail polish. I hate men who have nail polish on them. Well, I don't hate this guy as a person. I don't know. I just hate that design.
him. You find usual suspects there like Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. I
You know what's funny? I have no idea who Candace Owens is, and I've only recently heard about Nick Fuentes about a month ago. I didn't even know. I didn't even think about Nick Fuentes until he brought him up. You know what's also really funny? I like Nick. I like Nick Fuentes's last name, Nick Fuentes. Fuentes. Nick Fuentes. It's so fun to say. And out of curiosity, I did see a Nick Fuentes video, and it was just a bunch of schizophrenic, ranting, mumbling. And the thing about Nick Fuentes is that he's rich. He comes from a well-off family, I would believe, and a lot of his followers are poor, and they think that Nick actually gives a fuck about them, but really he doesn't. He's just farming them.
wonder if he's going to come up again. But sitting right alongside the open white nationalists were names like iDubbbz, Destiny, Hassan Piker, Ruben Sim, and Turkey.
Okay, I don't know most of these people, but yeah, iDubbbz, guy used to do content cop, and now he became a joke. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if iDubbbz is troll. I think iDubbbz might be trolling because nobody could be that purposely dumb and self-destructive, you know. But I don't know. Maybe he is really stupid nowadays. I mean, canceling charity events. Like, why would you do that?
Hard R Tom.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
N word.
Oh fuck!
A strange combination that
Yeah, racial slurs. The hard R. Um, yeah, that sucks when people say racial slurs. It's unprofessional. But I feel like we give racial slurs as much power as, how am I trying to word this? I feel like if we give words like racial slurs power, then that's when a racial slur becomes an issue. However, if you don't give a fuck about a racial slur, then you make that slur seem insignificant.
I'm hoping will make more sense by the end of this video. But to me, the most interesting inclusion is that of a guy who makes videos ostensibly about internet drama because he was named explicitly as one of two primary.
Well, I mean, saying that someone caused a mass shooting would be like, me saying that Grand Theft Auto 5 caused a mass shooting. It's really dumb, and there's no substantial evidence to really back that up.
Figures who pulled the shooter into the alt right. Also, We're not talking about Ruben Sim today, even though him and Tom are friends.
I don't know who that is. I don't even really follow Turkey Tom. I stopped following him years ago. I only randomly check up on his channel, out of curiosity to see what he's doing, and I'm like, oh, it's just Tom talking about another YouTube drama.
And the dude sucks ass. Don't let his Roblox heroes fool you. He got
I could be watching the Superman the animated series cartoon right now. Instead, I'm just reacting to this.
banned for racism, homophobia, and harassment, and is very transphobic. Like, trust me.
Oh no, a meme joke. Oh good heavens. Uh,
There's
okay.
a reason why he was listed here. Anyways, Turkey lies and blames Bianca Devins for her own murder by an incel and then tries to delete the video. Tom.
And as for Bianca and what happened to her, it's obviously disgusting to say that she got what she deserved. She did not deserve to be murdered for what she did. However, is it completely unreasonable to question whether or not
I really do not like Turkey Tom's cartoon PNG character.
she contributed to the likelihood of this happening? Bianca was effectively an e-prostitute who was selling nude pictures of herself to men and leading on a number of them. And
Man, I don't want to be like this generation sucks kind of person, but yeah, this generation has its own set of problems. I mean, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, we would have like constant wars. I mean, we have wars today, but I'm talking about like knights going out and murdering, pillaging, and raping, random people. Now that stopped, but now we got, new issues like people doing dumb shit online.
using them for her own gratification. She recklessly promoted an image of herself online that attracted a pretty gross crowd of people.
Is one note in a particular web of commentary, drama recap, and reaction channels. Tom, Sensitive Society, WestJet, More Pegasus, Machito, Think Before You Sleep. There.
Oh man, I don't like those channels. But is Think Before You Sleep a commentary channel though? I don't know. I think he just makes videos criticizing left leaning views. Um, think before you sleep. I respect how outspoken he is, but he lost me when he said that you can hide your autism. Now, as someone who has known actual autistic people, like they have a confirmed 100% diagnosis, you can't just simply hide your autism. That's why it's a diagnosis. That'd be like telling a person with one leg to hide the fact that they only have one leg.
A billion of these guys cross-referencing and reacting to each other's content like one big
Oh my goodness, we're still talking about the Eliminations thing. That event happened years ago, and Eliminations, yeah, I mean she's still doing fine. I believe she's also like a millionaire or something. I can't really feel too bad for her.
incestuous, very
Like no offense, but unless you have like a developed character, like someone like a certain fictional character, unless you have like a developed character or something like that, I don't really feel bad for you if you're like a millionaire. If you're a millionaire in America or have at least over 500K in your account, I don't really feel much sympathy for you. I mean, you can pretty much use those finances to solve any sort of problem.
political family.
Like most Americans never even touch $10,000.
Foreshadowing. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. These are just dumb guys making dumb videos
Yes.
about more dumb guys and dumb internet drama. They are not worth taking seriously, little.
Yeah, they really aren't worth taking seriously. A lot of commentary videos, they just end up becoming outdated. I remember when everybody was shitting on Nikado Avocado, but then Nikado Avocado pulled the rug from everybody's feet and lost a bunch of weight, and it turned out that Nikado Avocado was trolling. So all those commentary drama videos that were giving Nikado Avocado a hard time ended up becoming really outdated.
Making a video.
Also, Nikado Avocado made bank off the drama.
2 hours, 16 minutes, 36 seconds.
Long talking about them. And to that I say, you're right about it being dumb. However, you're wrong about it being not important.
I mean, if something's dumb, wouldn't that also imply that it is not important?
That dismissal is exactly the problem, because it is the genre's primary defense mechanism, just like all the pseudo-intellectuals and gamer chuds whose content, through the conventions of their genre, participate in an ecosystem that functions as important infrastructure in the pipeline to radicalization. And Tom's name in that manifesto.
Why is he upside down? I hate when these essay channels do some sort of weird editing trick. Like, why are you upside down? Is that supposed to be deep? Are you trying to be like one of those anime characters from Bleach? What is your goal here, my son?
Is the smoking gun I knew would show up eventually. The moment you call this content
I just noticed he's holding a juice pack.
trivial, you have already accepted the framing that makes it effective. And ignoring them allows them to thrive. Like something else I'm having a hard time thinking of right now. What was it? I feel like it was important.
Donald Trump is the president of the United States.
Oh yeah, my feelings on Trump are pretty much like everybody else, negative. Even when I was in the army and National Guard, soldiers are like, "Yeah, Donald Trump, he sucks. He's such a useless president." Fun fact: a lot of people who are in the army are only in it for the healthcare and educational benefits, plus the money. Not many people are patriotic except for dumb boomer soldiers.
This radicalization occurs not because any individual creator intends it, although it sure seems like some do, but because the
By the way, I'm only watching this video to, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I was going to say something, but I forgot.
structure of their content systematically normalizes the preconditions that radicalization requires. And I think this is serious because these channels are not fringe. They have millions of subs and millions of views from their audience that is over.
Well, in the grand scheme of things, I mean, in the grand scheme of things, millions is a very small number. You know, like a million, that's a small number. There are 8 billion people on this planet. 1 million, that is so tiny in comparison. Oh crap! I accidentally clicked off the video.
Structure of their content systematically normalizes the preconditions that radicalization requires. And I think this is serious because these channels are not fringe. They have
You know, it's funny. I go outside, and whenever I talk to people, they never bring up these channels at all because, like I said, 700,000 subscribers, 500,000 subscribers, a million subscribers. That's not a lot. You know, it's a lot on YouTube, maybe, but even then, there are bigger channels than these. You know, like I know people that know about Mr. Beast or PewDiePie, but those two are like super huge. These channels, they're still, small fish in a big pond in comparison.
millions of subs and millions of views from their audience that is overwhelmingly terminally online young men, which is the exact demographic most vulnerable
I was going to say, hey, there are probably women that watch these types of videos too, but yeah, it's mostly young men.
for this kind of thing. Like me, a decade ago, when I was too dumb to realize any of this as I eagerly awaited the next content comment.
Well, see, that's the thing. You just pointed something out here. Yeah, those channels are dumb, and you realize that when you grew up, right? I used to watch Content Cop too, but looking back, man, that was an outdated phase of my life. But that's the thing. These people that watch these commentary channels, they're gonna end up growing up and moving on and maturing because their brains are gonna develop and they're gonna move on to something else and they're most likely gonna be like you and me and look back and go, yeah, man, I can't believe I used to watch that. It happens.
Seriously though,
Oh god, it might even happen to the people that watch my channel. Stop subscribing to
over
me.
the last 6 months, these 6 people alone have put out 116 videos. That's 3 times the amount I've ever done. So
I mean, I post a lot of videos too.
I don't get every
Actually, no, it's not even just commentary channels. I've seen other small YouTube channels that have like thousands of uploads and they don't even have 1,000 subscribers. It's not really a weird phenomenon. Some people are just autistic like that.
single
Not that there's anything wrong with that. If you like posting videos on YouTube and you're not hurting anybody or yourself, go for it.
detail in here. Cut me some slack. Also, I'm technically half man now, but who's asking? Turkey actually has the words real wigger swag on his merch website. Tom is the through line of my analysis because he is the creator of the anti-op shooter specifically named. But the mechanisms I'm documenting here are genre-wide, which is why we're going to be hearing from all sorts of spirited individuals along the way.
Who are these people? I recognize a thumbnail at the bottom left. I believe that's something from Pegasus. And then we got Tectone. Um, yeah, but all I know about Tectone is that he just fake cries a lot.
In case any of these guys happen to see this video, because I know they're constantly desperate for relevancy, let me give you some react faces for the unflattering thumbnail that you'll probably put me on.
Uh, uh, oh, all right. Well, you made a face I was going to use for the thumbnail already, but I appreciate the attempt. He is right though. They do be using the most extreme facial thumbnails ever. And it's even more weird because they're always like black and white, glowing red eyes, and there's like a fire in the background.
We good?
Yeah, we
Cool.
good.
You're welcome.
No problem.
Now, to prove I'm not pulling all this out my ass, research. A prominent academic model for understanding.
I really wish he would put on shoes. He looks like an elf. Alright, so at this part of the video, he's bringing up some random people that did research that nobody cares about.
Users to transition to.
And I'm going to have to cut here because if you want to see what he's talking about, just go to his actual video to listen to the part. Um, and I can't really add any conversation to this part as well, so I'm just going to skip over it. I'm not trying to take this guy out of context or anything.
I think this is a great way of describing a pipeline because so many people, like some we're going to talk about, imagine a radicalization pipeline to be a consistent linear escalation of rhetoric, when in reality, it's much more about the interconnectivity of many nodes with varying degrees.
Jesus Christ, that is a very complex thing to say. I mean, you sound like you're trying to sound smart by using complex scenarios or ideals. And, it's just giving me Jordan Peterson vibes. You know how Jordan Peterson talks a lot but manages to say nothing substantial? That's the kind of vibe I get from this. And the thing about Jordan Peterson is that he uses all sorts of fancy sounding words in order to sound smart, when really, the only people that think he sounds smart are his idiotic audience.
Of rhetoric. This structure allows people to bounce between said nodes easily because radicalization is about cracking their psyche to be susceptible.
I think it's more complex than that, but overall, people do have a habit of changing opinions over time.
Susceptible to more and more extreme ideas over time through repetition and isolation. It's not just as simple as turning up the racism dial, even though some people really do make it look effortless. Research on everyone's favorite group of guys, the manosphere, has also further documented how space is not explicitly coded.
I never bothered looking out in the manosphere. I'm more into women.
As political, serve as recruitment environments. Shergill and Quoward demonstrated how gaming platforms like Discord, Twitch, and Steam are leveraged by extremists for radicalization and recruitment. While
Really? I mean, maybe. I don't use Discord or Twitch, but Steam. All I use Steam for is to download some Batman Arkham games or play Trails in the Sky. Single player games. I didn't know Steam was a place to recruit extremists.
research on Gamergate has established it as a template for.
Gamergate. That was a huge failure. And then they tried to bring it back and it failed again. And also, why are you doing this? Why are you using this weird editing trick? Like, do you think is this supposed to be like deep symbolism or something?
How ostensibly apolitical online communities can be focused around weaponizing their mutual.
Even then, using Steam as a far right example, I don't know. I mean, a lot of games on Steam are pro LGBT, have left leaning messages. I mean, there might be a crazy right leaning game on Steam, but nobody really talks about it or even knows about it. Because the thing about games that have a very right leaning message or something like that, they're usually very boring.
Hatred of women and minorities through gaming. I can already feel the pro Gamergate people.
I'm sorry, what was your thing about hatred and minorities in gaming? I might take offense to that because I am a gamer.
Online communities can be focused around weaponizing their mutual hatred of women and minorities through gaming. I can already.
Really? I mean, I'm someone who likes games, but hatred of minorities and women? I mean, I mean, okay. I mean, The Witcher 3, that game has gay characters and strong women in it, and I like that game. The Yakuza games, those have trans characters in them sometimes. In Yakuza 3, Kiryu, the guy right here, he befriends a trans person. I thought that was a really wholesome message. Bloodborne, well, I don't know about the politics or play Bloodborne for its politics. Red Dead Redemption 2, this is the fourth best selling game ever, and it has messages about tolerance. The game literally awards you honor points for killing racists and punishes you for killing more left leaning people. Like, there's that punching the feminist video on YouTube, but the game will actually punish you for doing that by sending law enforcement and lowering your honor if you decide to do that. Xenoblade Chronicles, damn it, Xenoblade Chronicles games are about diverse groups uniting together to stop a bigger cause. Persona 5, this is probably like the most left leaning Persona game ever. I mean, the other previous Persona games are left leaning, but this game's message is all about rebellion and going against society. I mean, one of the big bad villains in the game is a crazy bald conservative, and this is one of the most popular JRPGs ever. Oh man, I can already hear the anti-normie crowds, stumbling upon this video and fuming at Persona 5. But even then, Persona 2 not only has strong female characters, but you literally get to punch. Well, actually, no. Yeah, actually, yeah. In Persona 2, you do fight and kill Nazis in that game. I can't really think of any games that are pro hateful outside of maybe some sort of weird indie game that was made by some sort of loser like Andy Pants Gaming. But the thing is, someone like Andy Pants, not only did his game get panned, but he even inserted his own child with AICP or something like that. And I believe that's one of the reasons why apparently he lost the rights to his kid or something.
We feel the pro Gamergate people angrily type in their comments from the future.
Like, I'm just saying, like, a lot of games are actually super pro diverse and pro left. I mean, not to mention Final Fantasy VII with its anti corporation and anti capitalist message, plus, his diverse group of characters. Or Grand Theft Auto San Andreas, where you play as a black guy who kills a bunch of white people. Same for GTA 5 now that you think about it.
As I sit here in the past, powerful. And in my opinion, what remains underdeveloped in the literature is the role of specifically this genre of content that sits upstream to all of these spaces. Internet commentary and drama channels. These creators occupy a particularly nebulous position in the content ecosystem. They are not political commentators, they're not gaming communities.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, one of the examples you used was Think Before You Sleep. And that guy is definitely a more political channel. It's not just a commentary channel that reacts to the newest drama. In fact, Think Before You Sleep, unless you directly reply to him, and you're like a big YouTuber or something like that, he's most likely going to ignore any type of drama.
They are entertainers whose subject matter is other people's online behaviors that overlap with many differences.
Man, I'm absolutely shocked that the CIA or some government agent hasn't kidnapped and black bed Hassan Piker yet.
Basis. And there's genre conventions like selective storytelling, the pathologization of certain populations, conspiratorial framing presented as investigation.
I was going to point out that guy in the background had a berserk tattoo. That looked like a berserk
The
tattoo.
normalization of cruelty as analysis may function as critical early stage infrastructure in the radicalization pipe.
He's using a lot of big words, like you have an audience that I'm assuming isn't that smart. You can dumb down what you're saying. It's perfectly fine. In fact, some of the smartest people ever have been the ones that use simplistic terminology instead of using big words.
And I am here to talk for a very long time.
Oh man, there's that debate between Charlie and this other guy. I forgot his name, but that shit was funny because Charlie like self-told on himself, and he acknowledged that he's okay with kids getting gender reassignment surgeries, which is not a good ideal at all. Terrible ideal.
To prove it.
Booking.com has all kinds son of a gun.
For those who... Oh, All right, guys, gals, and non-binary pals, preamble is finally over, so buckle the fuck up, because we're about to get into this bitch. I have neatly organized my examples into categories.
You know, one of my biggest pet peeves on YouTube. I mean, I'm guilty of this too, but I hate hearing background music from Persona games and YouTube videos. It's so overused, but then again, I'm guilty of it as well.
Points of radicalization identified by research and have
Like, I don't blame people for doing that. It sounds like nice background music, but it is so overused.
multiple examples for all of them. And please, Mom said it's my turn to make the slop too bad video. God damn it, I'm gonna make it how I want. Turkey Tom's video on the Charlie Kirk assassination provides the clearest example of what Munn calls normalization, the process by which extreme ideas are encountered in contexts that make them feel like common sense. Kirk's years of rhetoric calling transgender people an abomination and a throbbing middle finger.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that Charlie Kirk is was a total douche. Did he deserve to die? Nah. But do I feel bad for him? Nah, not at all. You know, I mean, it's not the transphobia that I really care about because I'm not a trans person. I don't really know that much about trans issues, But what bothered me about Charlie Kirk is that people said that this guy was a hero, and I'm like, there are police officers who put their lives at risk all the time, firefighters who do the same, uh, hospital workers who are overworked, teachers who are unemployed or underpaid. My bad. U.S. Army veterans, or just veterans in general from the military. Those people will get ignored by society for the most part. But meanwhile, someone like Charlie Kirk, who couldn't even make it in military academy or whatever, Charlie Kirk, who couldn't even get a useful degree in college, Charlie Kirk couldn't even be smart enough to graduate college. This was a guy that people called a hero. Yeah, I guess he's a hero to stupid people.
To God, suggesting that they should be taken care of the way.
Even then, Charlie Kirk's views aren't even unique. He just got popular. He got popular by luck. There are plenty of people who have beliefs similar to Charlie Kirk, but go unnoticed by society.
They used to take care of things in the night.
Like crazy Christians, they're all over the place, but none of them will ever be as successful as Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk got lucky because he was born into a rich, well off family. He happened to be extroverted, and he was the one that managed to get popular. Nowadays, they're trying to replace him, find a brand new Charlie Kirk. And yeah, as long as there are rich, well off Republicans and conservatives out there, yeah, there's going to be a new Charlie Kirk.
He's in the 60s, and describing the stoning of gay people as God's perfect law are reduced in Turkey Tom's video to a single phrase.
Yeah, but with Turkey Tom, I don't know why you would go watch a Turkey Tom video expecting, you know, genuine research.
Charlie Kirk is infamous for his opposition to transgenderism.
That's it. That is the
Well, I mean, is he not wrong?
entire context we get on Kirk and what he believed. And that's just the trans shit, too. That isn't even him touching on civil rights or what he thought about Jews. Seems kind of important to bring up.
I mean, yeah, but I'm pretty sure the shooter was involved with some sort of transgender thing or something like that. I don't know. I haven't researched the shooter.
Meanwhile, though, the transgender person in proximity to the accused shooter, Lance, receives an exhaustive examination of their Reddit history, their substance abuse, their eating disorder, gender transition, political evolution,
What's funny is that there are probably millions of Redditors in the same situation. Ah, man, I don't use Reddit, though. I tried using Reddit for one day to ask a question, and then I said an unpopular opinion, and I got negative karma or something, and got permanently banned off of Reddit. I mean, I could make another account, but screw that. It's so easy to get banned off of Reddit.
as context for empathy or anything, but as data points in an explicit pathology profile meant to lead people into believing the shooter, who he spends realistically very little time talking about, was just a normal guy radicalized by extreme transgender people and leftism.
After 2020, one of the first significant posts on his account is him arguing with other people over transgenderism. Specifically, Lance can be seen calling his...
I miss the days when, people didn't art. Well, never mind. Screw that. I was going to say something I miss. I was going to say something along the lines of I miss when transgenderism wasn't that big of a thing. I mean, it kind of still isn't that big of a thing. The transgender population is still really low. But then again, I would be a hypocrite because over here I like One Piece, and in One Piece there are two really cool LGBT characters that I really like. So I mean, yeah,
Old self transphobic and claiming that children should be allowed to transition. By 2022, he was already posting to subreddits like femboy underscore IRL and r slash 196, both of which are well known for their predominantly trans user base. This isn't to say he was a conventional left winger, though, as
man, I'm already exhausted from hearing Turkey Tom.
multiple posts signaled that
Because the thing about Turkey Tom is that he just says information but dumbs it down. And it's already information that you can figure out on Google. You can research yourself.
he was
And my biggest problem with Turkey Tom's content is that he's no longer funny. He used to try to make more edgy jokes, but he stopped or something like that. Now he just regurgitates the obvious information.
sufficiently far left, and that he no longer believed in political parties altogether. To make a long story short, it's infamous for being full of rabid incels, transgender people, and combinations of the two.
And that's another site I don't use is Reddit. I don't fuck with. I mean, 4chan. I don't use 4chan. I don't even know how 4chan works, to be honest. The only social media site I use is Facebook, and that's just to interact with Facebook groups, which is becoming harder nowadays because of censorship. More Facebook groups are just getting taken down and permabanned, and I only use Facebook to message one fan. I not one fan, but one friend. Sorry about that.
All of whom are bonding over feeling socially excluded or otherwise dysfunctional. If you've been listening to what I've been saying, then I think you're starting to get the idea.
I could go on, but the asymmetry, the sanitization of one side's dehumanizing rhetoric, and the microscopic scrutiny of the other side's personal vulnerabilities is precisely the normalization mechanism that Munn describes. It makes a particular ideology frame feel like a neutral, common sense retelling of events. The viewer does not feel like they are receiving an inaccurate, transphobic, right-wing narrative about the assassination. They feel like they are watching a documentary. And people in the comments are even praising Tom's perceived accuracy. Explaining who Kirk was and what he believed isn't endorsing that he became a victim of the radicalization machine he spent his life building.
I really got nothing to say about this part.
It is providing helpful context into understanding why it happened.
I'm only 13 minutes in. I'm waiting for the schizo stuff to pop up because this video, the drama slop to school shooter pipeline, this scared a lot of drama YouTube channels.
Are here in
because it made them realize, like, oh shit, someone could actually accuse me of starting a mass shooting, you know. But I mean, that's a risk you gotta take, when you're gonna do types of videos like this, when you're gonna make drama videos, you're gonna risk having extremist audience members who might go out and do something stupid and reckless, and yeah.
Tom's video chooses to investigate, and when it chooses to
but then again, any piece of media or creation, those are two the same things, but anything could be at risk of having an extremist audience member. I just thought about it. There was that one shooter, forgot his name, but he became influenced by the creator of Danny Phantom's work, and he was into this character called Amber, and he made up this weird fantasy about Amber having a ghost squad, and he thought that when he died he would transition into a Ghost Squad girl or something. It's crazy. But I'm just saying, if something like Danny Phantom or My Little Pony can have crazy extremist members, and anybody can have crazy extremist members, even this guy right here could potentially have crazy extremist followers.
And the amount of trans slurs in the comment section proves my point that there was definitely something going on here. This matters because Tom's supposedly exhaustive evidence seems to brush aside things like the Washington Post investigation, which had interviews.
I don't know if we can really trust the Washington Post. I personally don't trust any news source, The only time I really trust the news is when it comes to the weather, but even then they can be inaccurate about that nowadays.
With 21 people who knew the accused shooter and found nothing to corroborate the narrative that he had been radicalized by left-wing extremism. A talking point that Tom continues to push over and over and over.
But from 2019 to 2024, both of them slowly moved from somewhat apolitical to left-wing, with a large emphasis on the topic of trans rights. While Lance's was well documented through his own Reddit, Tyler's was quieter. However controversial this was initially, establishing Tyler's motive was the easiest part. The casing clearly antagonized Kirk as a fascist. His family remarked that
Why is Turkey Tom even making a video about this? Like, this is stuff that, anybody can research and find out for themselves. Why do people want to trust Turkey Tom, the used to be edgelord atheist?
Recently expressed that Charlie Kirk was full of hate, and his growing left-wing sentiment coincided with his distancing from his family's Mormon religious practices. All of this automatically put Lance squarely outside of the regular political spectrum, and although he was clearly left-wing, he definitely felt ambivalent about a lot of issues.
Friends described a quiet young man disillusioned with both parties, and only one person recalled him ever mentioning trans issues at all. The SPLC documented how, in the wake of Kirk's killing, right-wing influencers promoted disinformation about trans people and the alleged perpetrator's gender identity.
Yeah, that's an unfortunate part of politics, Like, when the right sees an opportunity to take advantage and make the left look bad, they'll do that. They'll take advantage of that situation. But the left does the same thing as well. Whenever the right fumbles, the left will take it, will take their chance and try to make, the right look bad. That's why I feel like we need more of a delicate balance, like Iroh from Avatar The Last Airbender. He was a very balanced person who believed in balance, and instead of just blindly following both extremes of right and left, why not just sit in the middle and observe the flaws from both sides equally?
And Tom's video also follows this pattern of using high-profile shootings to push a trans shooter narrative, even while the shooter was not even fucking trans, while maintaining the plausible deniability of just investigate.
Oh, shit.
This selective empathy extends into just complete no-holds-barred conspiratorial framing, because a substantial portion of the same Kirk video is dedicated to people who have no demonstrated connection to the assassination. Twitter users.
Yep. That's the thing that happens. People will go online and make assumptions about stuff that they never even been involved with. I do the same thing sometimes too. Yeah, that's just part of human nature, though. Humans have been following fake news for years, even during, early colonization. Back when witch hunts were a thing. Cancel culture has existed for years. Fake news has existed for years. It's an unfortunate part of our evolution.
Made provocative post banned with an edgy song title, connecting an LGBTQ organization called Armed Queers SLC to an unrelated gun club shooting. Like, even the comments point out how much Tom.
I didn't even know about any of this until you pointed that out.
About the actual shooter himself to just fucking spew garbage like this. Even the fucking right-wing cesspit, the Daily Caller, said that org has no connection to the assassination at all. But Tom really just can't help himself.
Of course, everything I'm saying here is circumstantial, but still, it seems to be enough that the FBI is currently investigating Hermaya about her potentially having some relation, not just to the assassination of Charlie Kirk, but also to any other similar crimes that have occurred recently. Ultimately, it's impossible to know just how much sprawl this kind of thing has, but considering how massive organizations and cults like the Zizians or 764 have gotten, it's best...
I have no idea what Tom is talking about. I'm not terminally online enough. I know I upload videos on a daily thing, but this is some crazy schizo stuff going on.
Sort this out as early as possible.
Remember that 764 is a cybercriminal child exploitation network that the Antioch shooter was connected to, that Tom is framing as having the same level of concerning activity to an unrelated queer gun club.
Dang. Man, I hate to be the guy that agrees with the, with the bread tuber person. But I mean, so far he's making some good points. No wonder this guy has scared a bunch of commentary channels.
Founded by a trans woman. Very cool. As I said in the beginning, this isn't a one-off thing. In another of Tom's videos,
All right, think I'm done filming. Let's see. I'm at this. Okay, this video randomly gets enough views. Maybe I'll make a part two because oh my goodness, I'm only 17 minutes in, and this is a 2 hour long movie tier video. I was hoping he would get into the schizo zone sooner. I'm waiting for him to point out Turkey Tom causing a shooting, and so far he's just been stalling. You know. Uh, but yeah, I hope you have a good day if you made it this far in the video. Or if you disagree with me or whatever, then fuck you.